For better understanding, let us perform a live activity by using potassium permanganate crystals. This live activity is going to show you how this diffusion process takes place. Okay, why we usually use potassium permanganate crystals in the lab? We use this because this actually are clearly visible. They can clearly demonstrate the diffusion process. So let us see what happens. Here you can see I have two beakers. Okay, into these two beakers I have put in water, but the difference between these two beakers is, in this beaker I have put in some hot water, and in this beaker we have normal water, normal fresh water. Maybe you can say this is colder as compared to this beaker. So this beaker contains hot water and this beaker contains cold water. What is going to happen when we are going to put in some potassium permanganate crystals? So let us see what happens. Just a few potassium permanganate crystals into this beaker containing hot water, a few potassium permanganate crystals into this beaker containing cold water. So let us see what happens. As you can see, slowly and slowly this potassium permanganate dye is going to spread evenly in the entire beaker. But in which case do you think that this process is faster, at a higher rate? Let us give this some standing time and let us demonstrate this on the board. Let us see what happens during diffusion process. You all know that what is the region of higher concentration, as we have studied it earlier also. The region where the molecules are present more in number, means in this beaker where there is more there are more molecules of potassium permanganate, that region is known as the region of its higher concentration, and where the molecules are less in number, that region is known as the region of its low concentration. So what is going to happen? These molecules are going to move from the region of higher concentration to the region of low concentration. So as you can see in this beaker, the molecules are slowly and slowly moving towards the region of their low concentration, the upper side, from the region of their high concentration down in the downside. You can see there are more potassium permanganate crystals at the bottom of the beaker than at the top of the beaker. So what is going to happen? Slowly and slowly, due to a process that we call as diffusion, this is going to what? This is going to spread evenly in the entire beaker. So let us see what happens. After some time, if I demonstrate this with the help of molecules, the molecules are more in number at this side, at the region of the higher concentration. Slowly they are going to spread. Okay, so how we'll show this? Slowly the molecules are going to spread evenly in the entire beaker containing water. Okay, so the diffusion process continues till the time the molecules have spread evenly, okay, in the entire beaker, as you can see. So the process of diffusion is the movement of actually the molecules from the region of higher concentration to the region of lower concentration, and this diffusion process takes place till the time these molecules have spread evenly in the entire solution or this beaker containing water. This is what we are demonstrating in these two beakers. So as you can see, in case of the beaker which was having hot water, there is faster rate of diffusion, but in the beaker containing cold water, you can see that the rate of diffusion is quite slow. Maybe this is not very clear to you, but when you do it at your homes or in the lab, you can see slowly these molecules rising up and they are going to fill in the space and they are going to spread evenly in the entire beaker. Okay. So let us wait for another few minutes and see what happens, and before that let us also discuss another important aspect of diffusion. Let us start with it. Diffusion is directly proportional to temperature. What do I mean by giving this statement is, as the temperature increases, the rate of diffusion also increases. So this is what is my motive to do this live activity for you all. You can see that in case of hot water, this potassium permanganate dye is spreading evenly more faster at a faster rate as compared to this beaker containing cold water. So this proves that diffusion is directly proportional to temperature. Now what is the reason behind that? You all know that as the temperature increases, what is going to increase? the kinetic energy of the molecules is also going to increase. Now, if you look at this beaker, what is going to happen? The molecules are going to slowly spread evenly, okay, to control, to complete this diffusion process. And here what is happening? I am just saying that when we have put in hot water and cold water and we put these crystals, the beaker containing hot water has faster rate of diffusion. Why? Because diffusion is actually directly proportional to the temperature. And why this happens? Because as we increase the temperature, the kinetic energy of the molecules increases, and the kinetic energy is the energy due to motion of the body. So the molecules are going to move very fast, and when the molecules are going to be very fast, the movement is going to be very fast, the rate of diffusion is also going to be very fast. So let us recall that the diffusion process is actually what? It is a movement of the molecules from the region of higher concentration to the region of low concentration. And remember one important point I want to tell you, that we can say that diffusion is actually a passive process. A passive process is a process in which there is energy involvement. No. A passive process is a process in which there is no energy involvement. So this diffusion process does not need any energy. It is just the random movement of molecules from the region of higher concentration to the region of their lower concentration. So I hope now this is very clear to you that diffusion is directly proportional to temperature, because as we increase the temperature, this is going to increase the kinetic energy of the molecules, means the molecules are going to be more faster in movement, and they'll move fast. When they'll move fast, the diffusion rate is going to be higher. Okay, so let us see again at these beakers. Let me show you. Please see it very clearly. You can see that now almost entirely the potassium permanganate crystals have distributed themselves in the entire beaker. So this means that as we have increased the temperature, this has actually led to increase in the kinetic energy, the movement of molecules. That is why the rate of diffusion is quite faster. This is hot actually. And when we talk about this beaker, it was containing cold water, colder as compared to this. So what is happening here? The rate of diffusion is quite slow. Okay, the movement of molecules is quite slow because the temperature is less. When the temperature is higher, the movement of molecules is fast. Remember, when I talk about the movement of molecules, I talk about the kinetic energy of the molecules. When the kinetic energy is higher, the movement is going to be faster. When the movement is faster, the rate of diffusion is going to be fast. Okay, so remember, and when I am going to stir it, I hope now this is clear to you. I am going to stir it. See, after stirring, this is going to help in the even spreading of these molecules. This is already evenly spread because the temperature of water in this beaker was much higher as compared to this one. So now this is how diffusion takes place. By stirring also, we can also increase the rate of diffusion. So remember, diffusion is a process in which there is movement, there is random movement of molecules from the region of the higher concentration to the region of the lower concentration. Diffusion is directly proportional to temperature. Why so? Because by increasing the temperature, we are actually talking about the increase in kinetic energy of molecules. When the molecules are going to move fast, the rate of diffusion is going to be comparatively higher. So remember, my main idea of showing you this live was so that you have an idea about the passive nature of diffusion, because this is happening so randomly. We have just put in some crystals and they have spread evenly in the entire beaker. I hope this is going to help you. You can also try it in your labs at your places so that you have a fair idea about this diffusion process.